Hello Year 2, it's Mr Yeardsley here. We're going to read chapter 2 of our Isadora Moon book. Isadora Moon goes to school and she had a bit of a choice, didn't she? A bit of a choice of which school to go to. Wonder which one she was going to choose, either the vampire school or the fairy school. Asked you to have a think which one you'd rather go to. Let's read chapter 2, find out how. Fairy school first. Fairy school. Teacher, Monsieur Pamplemousse. He likes neat handwriting, butterfly spotting, camping in the wilderness and magic. 9 AM, lesson 1, wand waving. 10:30 AM, break time, coconut milk and organic cupcakes. 11 AM, lesson 2, dancing. 12:30 PM, lunchtime, buttercup soup with acorn pancakes. 2 PM, lesson 3, flower garlands. 4 PM, home time. Felt a bit nervous the night before fairy school. I think Pink Rabbit was too. I can always tell when Pink Rabbit is nervous or excited because he fidgets all night. He fidgeted all that night and I almost didn't sleep a wink. That's why I was very tired the next day when Mum came in to get me up. "Come on, Isadora, rise and shine," she said. "It's time for fairy school." "I just know you're going to love it." She led me downstairs for my morning bath in the garden pond. Mum loves to bathe in the pond amongst the lily pads and she thinks we should all do the same. It's so invigorating to me, at one with nature. Personally, I prefer when Dad is in charge of bath time. It's much less cold. When Dad is in charge of bath time, he switches all the lights off and lights lots of candles. It's very atmospheric. Sometimes he makes shadow puppet dances across the wall for me. That's my favourite kind of bath time. Ooh, what's she bathing in? Can you see here? It's a coffin. The fairy school was on top of a hill, covered in flowers. It looked like a giant cupcake with windows and doors. Glitter puffed out from the giant shiny cherry on top. "Doesn't it look wonderful?" said Mum. Then she kissed my cheek and fluttered away. Cupcake school. I stood looking at the school, holding Pink Rabbit's paw. He needed me to hold his paw because everything was so new and a bit scary. My teacher was called Monsieur Pamplemousse. He had pink hair that looked like the icing on a fairy cake. "Good morning, class," he said. "Today we're going to learn how to use a magic wand." I'd always wanted a wand of my very own. Suddenly, I knew fairy school was for me. After all, who doesn't want a glittery wand that they can grant wishes with? "We are going to make lovely things appear," said Monsieur Pamplemousse. "All you need to do is wave it and imagine. You should all be naturals at it." He handed everyone a sparkly silver wand. At once, all the fairies began to wave their wands in the air. Nice things began to appear all over the classroom. Little kittens, giant bowls of ice cream, stripy lollipops, towering birthday cakes, freshly squeezed lemonade. "What should we wish for, Pink Rabbit?" I asked. Pink Rabbit bounced up and down beside me. "Carrot cake," I said. "What a good idea." I imagined a huge, towering cake covered in creamy icing and decorated with marzipan carrots. Whoosh! I waved my wand. A single carrot dropped out of the air and rolled across the floor. I frowned. That's not what I was imagining. I closed my eyes and thought of the cake again. I could see it very clearly. I knew exactly what it was supposed to look like. It had 5 layers and a little marzipan rabbit on top of it. I waved my wand again. Whoosh! Still, no cake appeared. Instead, the carrot started to grow. It rolled around on the floor, getting bigger and bigger all the time. "Oh dear," I said to Pink Rabbit. I looked around for Monsieur Pamplemousse, but he was busy taste testing a fairy's cake over the other side of the room. The carrot was now huge. "Stop growing," I said to it. "Stop!" But the carrot did not stop. It kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. "Monsieur Pamplemousse," I called, but he didn't hear me over the excited chatter of all the fairies. I stared at the giant carrot. A few of the nearby fairies had noticed it now. They were pointing and laughing. It was embarrassing. Quickly, I pointed my wand at the carrot once more. There was a whoosh and a shower of sparks. "Stop growing," I thought. "Turn into a nice cake." The carrot stopped growing, but it did not turn into a nice cake. Instead, it sprouted a pair of black bat's wings and began to flap itself into the air. "Mr Pamplemousse!" I shouted. Finally, he turned round, just in time to see the giant carrot zooming round the classroom, crashing from wall to wall, destroying everything in its way. Cake and lemonade exploded everywhere, splattering up the walls and splashing all over the floor. "Take cover!" shouted Mr Pamplemousse, immediately leaping underneath his desk at the front of the class. All the other fairies followed his lead, diving under their desk too. I crouched down under mine and listened to the bangs and crashes going on above my head. It is going about. Huge carrot with wings. "This is all my fault," I thought, reaching out for Pink Rabbit's paw. But Pink Rabbit's paw was not there, and nor was Pink Rabbit. Where was he? I peered out from under the desk, through the lemonade rain and shower of cake crumbs. My heart felt tight in my chest. What if he'd been squished? But then I saw him. He was on the other side of the room, opening one of the big classroom windows. What a clever rabbit, I thought. The window swung open and a cool summery breeze floated into the room. The carrot stopped mid-air. It did a loop-the-loop. Then it pointed its nose towards the open window and rocketed out into the sky, scattering a trail of cake crumbs and lollipops behind it. Everything went quiet for a second, and no one said anything. Then Monsieur Pamplemousse got out from under his desk and smoothed down his suit. "Come on, everyone," he said. "Get out from under your desks. Honestly, fancy hiding under your desk because of a carrot." Then he said, "Isadora, I'm afraid I don't think you quite have the fairy skills for wand waving." Oh well, I thought, maybe I am completely a vampire after all. The next lesson was ballet. I've taken ballet lessons since I was 3, so I wasn't worried about messing this up. We all went to change into our tutus. I love my ballet tutu. It's my second favourite thing after Pink Rabbit. It is as black as midnight and silver stars all over it with black glitter. It makes me feel mystical and magical. Sometimes I wear it just for fun when I'm at home. I put it on, then I noticed that all the other fairies were staring at me oddly, and so was Mr Pamplemousse. "You can't wear that," they all said. "It's black." "But I like black," I said. "Black's the colour of the sky at night. Black is a mystical and magical colour, and look how it sparkles." "But it's black," said Monsieur Pamplemousse. "We fairies wear pink ballet outfits. It's the rules." I was made to change out of my tutu and into a pink, puffy one. It just wasn't the same. I found I tripped up in the pink tutu, I missed my steps, and I came bottom of the class. I just didn't feel like my mystical, magical self. Look how much better she dances in her black tutu. "Oh dear," I said to Pink Rabbit. "I think maybe I am more vampire than I thought." For lunch, we had buttercup soup and acorn pancakes. "Yum," said all the fairies. "We love acorn pancakes and buttercup soup. They taste of trees and flowers." I wasn't sure I wanted my food to taste like trees and flowers, but I was very hungry, so I ate it all up. It wasn't too bad, but nowhere near as good as peanut butter on toast. The last lesson of the day was flower garland making. "It's almost midsummer," said Mr Pamplemousse, "a very important event in the fairy calendar. We are going to go into the magic woodland behind the school and forage for branches and flowers to make crowns. Then we will wear them next week to dance round a bonfire." "Ooh," said all the fairies. "Yes," said Mr Pamplemousse, "it is a wonderful way to be close to nature. Off we go then. Shoes off, everyone." Everyone took off their shoes, and then we all followed Monsieur Pamplemousse out to the school and to the magical woodland. "Here we go," he said. "Now go and forage." I really wanted to do a good job after the disastrous magic wand and ballet lesson. I'll show them, I thought. I'll make the best crown they've ever seen. Out in the wood. I began to collect up the biggest and most beautiful flowers I could find. Then I wove in some leaves and twigs. Pink Rabbit looked on in approval. 5 minutes left, said Monsieur Pamplemousse. Then I will come and look at what you've done. I really wanted my crown to be the best. What else could I add? Then I spotted some brightly coloured toadstools growing in a ring nearby. These will look like jewels, I said to Pink Rabbit. Quickly, I picked some and poked them into the crown. Beautiful! Look, Pink Rabbit, I am the Queen. But when Monsieur Pamplemousse saw what I had done, he was not pleased at all. Isadora Moon, he said, you've just ruined a sacred fairy ring. I blinked. Has no one ever told you, said Monsieur Pamplemousse, never ever to pick toadstools from a fairy ring? Besides, they are poisonous toadstools. I looked down at my hands and saw that they were covered in itchy red spots. Take off that crown at once. You had better go and get some magic cream from the school nurse, ordered Monsieur Pamplemousse. Hurriedly, I ripped the crown off my head and threw it onto the ground. I felt my eyes fill with tears. I didn't know, I said. I didn't know because I'm not a fairy, I'm a vampire. Then I turned round and ran back towards the school and refused to say another word until Mum came to pick me up at home time. How was your day? Asked Mum when she saw me. Did you have a lovely time? Isn't fairy school just wonderful? And I said that no, it was not wonderful at all, and that actually I didn't think I was a fairy. I was just a vampire. Mum looked a bit disappointed. You're probably just tired, she said. I'm sure you'll feel different tomorrow. We went home and had breakfast with Dad. Remember when Dad has breakfast? He was very pleased to hear that I was a vampire. I did think so all along, he said, as he slurped down his red juice. After breakfast, it was bedtime. I was so tired after my day at fairy school that I didn't even remember to brush my teeth. I just snuggled down with Pink Rabbit under our starry quilt and fell straight asleep. When I woke up, it was morning and the sun was streaming out through my turret window. Come on, Pink Rabbit, I said, poking him out of bed. It's vampire school tonight. I wonder what vampire school is going to be like. We're part way through the chapter, but I'm nearly up to my 15-minute limit on YouTube. We're up to page 61. Let's find out exactly what happens at vampire school another day after the weekend. Boys and girls, have a lovely Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully I'll see you on Monday when we go live on YouTube at 11 a.m. for our assembly. It's my assembly, not a class assembly. It won't be a storybook this time. I'll try and tell a story with something else, guys. Until then, remember the school motto. If you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. And keep on smiling, guys. Bye.